PDR Tool Time, your industry podcast, tools, reviews, and stories.
What's crack-a-lackin'? Mike Toledo back here at you. I am hijacking PDR Tool Time. How's it going, everybody? I'm with Daniel Grom, Vince D'Alessandro, and John Renstrom. How you guys doing, man? How you guys doing?
Woohoo! Fantastic. Actually, not really. I'm pretty tired myself. How about you, Daniel? You went to work today, didn't you?
I downed 2 Red Bulls today to make it through. Yeah, I was pretty tired.
I can almost talk. I'm doing okay.
Yeah. John's all talked out, but he's going to come on the show and talk to us too.
John, were you at MTE? Because I don't think I saw you.
I didn't hardly see. If you didn't come by our booth, I really didn't see you. I had the longest time I had away from our booth was I did that 20-minute Facebook Live, and I only did that to claim I was advertising our booth so I could get the heck out of it for a while.
Well,
yeah, you guys are swamped.
All of us are fresh back from MTE. It's Monday. We're dropping the sucker Tuesday morning in about 12 hours from now. So we want to get back to you fresh with some new information and a little roundup and recap of what we saw. So, Mike, dude, you were a busy man. You and I, we were there all week. We were there for 5-6 days, something like that. 7 days, right?
7 days a week, full week. Yeah.
Yeah, because you guys all did the
PDR college. Yep.
The college, yeah. So that looked like it was pretty good. Got some big smash and pulled the door, fixed that. How was all the college stuff? I mean, normally I pop in, but I didn't fly in until Wednesday.
Personally, I didn't get a chance to sit down a lot. I did my my thing. You guys know I did like 2 hours. I broke it up into another half hour on another subject. I think Kevin was talking most of the time about the EV class when I was there, and then I had to go to Disney World with the family. So I didn't get, but I did hear what was a good highlight was the kick-in smashes, and I heard Derek Yo spilled it. I heard he did a really, really good job because he stepped in for Kaz.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I was there Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Myself and Kevin did the EV seminar. The same day Mike was there, and that went awesome. They did a special deal for the EV certification, and myself and Kevin, we ended up certifying, I believe, about 26 guys out of all the attendance there over the 3 days. So we were
nice.
really
Awesome.
busy. Yeah.
That's badass.
That's why you guys didn't see us at the bar at night, because we were actually back at Inventure, which is now owned by TDN. Certifying these guys. It was pretty cool.
Wow. All right, I'll ask all the questions because I was the only poor sap who didn't get to go buy any tools.
Yeah.
So, all right. So on the drunk tool review, I got to check out all you guys' purchase. Daniel, what was? You've been home Monday. You went to work. You had to drink all your Red Bulls. What was the first new tool you put to work?
Ding's PDR Tools Hammer. So it's the adjustable head hammer
By Haynes Freeman.
And actually, I got a big surprise on that thing. So you can pivot the head, right? But you don't even need to do that. Whatever angle you're hitting the panel on, it automatically will adjust to that angle.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
So if you're working up on a rail, you start hitting on it, that head's going to move to the exact flat angle to that rail.
So just the percussion of tapping the panel is adjusting that tip.
Yeah, huge surprise because
now you're making me jealous. I should have bought it.
Yeah, I was working on the first dent I got was a front fender on a Chevy truck, brand new. And it had 2 different angles on it. And I was going back and forth to test it. And it would change its angle automatically when I was hitting on it. So it'd flatten itself out to whatever angle you're doing it. And then the other thing that was really cool was the handle. When I saw the handle, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. and I felt really comfortable.
For our
Today-
listeners, it's flat. By the way, it's what, like oval shaped? Would you say oval?
I don't even know what to call that. It's
It looks like if you took the
like a
type
blade.
letter number 0 when you type it out on your phone or something, and then blow it up into something
There you
that
go.
fits the palm of your hand.
That's
Because
a good description.
yeah, it's a little more square
skinny.
than oval, but it's very skinny and rounded on both the edges. It's a unique hammer. Yeah.
And I used it all day today. That's the only hammer I used. And by the end of the day, I was loving it. I was like, I really, really like this hammer. So
Cool. That's cool.
Vince, did you go to work today?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. I was stupid enough to schedule appointments at 8 o'clock in the morning after being gone for a week. I don't know what the hell I was thinking.
All right. So what new tool did you put to work today?
I immediately went right to the knockdowns and to the flat bar by CarePoint. I had a fender dent, and I pulled out that flat bar. The customer actually wanted to watch me. I'm like, okay, if you're going to watch me, just realize that this is the first time I'm ever using this tool. And she's like, what?
Yeah.
And what was your thoughts?
So it was great. It was great. I'm a flat bar guy. Yeah, I talk about flat bars all the time on the show.
Yeah.
And
Got plenty of power?
plenty. Oh, more than the Dent Wizard flat bar.
No, because I'm anxious to use that myself.
Yeah, it's really cool, Mike. You're gonna like it. I know I've been pushing flat bars on you for years, but and it's the 7/16 thread, so all your tips fit on it. You can put whatever you want.
5/16.
I'm sorry, 5/16. 5/16 thread. It's universal. There's nothing weird about it. Put whatever tip on it, and then the knockdowns, which was the VIP and the edgy stuff.
Did you use the titanium tip that came with that flat bar?
I did to finish the dent.
How'd it work?
Because it worked
what
great.
part of the car were you working on?
I was working on a front fender of a Lexus NX.
Okay.
Okay, so you went. Did you go in from the wheel well then?
Yeah. Right through
Nice.
the wheel well, got right to the dent. It was probably at like the 10 o'clock position on the right front fender, so on the passenger side. And it got right to it. Plenty of drive. I used the new Ultra tips, with the red cap that doesn't ever come off. You got to cut that sucker off. Got the meat of the dent up and then switched to the titanium.
To add to that, I didn't get to use it though, but I went straight to where my anacondas were, and I pulled out that what's that little sled? And
Yeah,
I put
the
it
sled.
on there, and the freaking sled works perfect with it. Dude.
It fits on that?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
even better.
So now it's universal. You got a flat bars, whatever whatever you want. So
Yeah.
good. Why are you giving me look? Am I coming in weird again?
Yeah, you're a little bit jarbly.
Sorry.
That just makes it sound like, for those of you that missed the bar at MTE, that's what the Boca Dent guys sounded like. So, we're bringing it to you. All right, Mike, what did you put to work that you brought home from MTE?
I didn't. I didn't put anything to work. I got what I put together. I put to work all my tools, laid them out, did a couple videos on it, and I'm anxious to check out the Galexo cold glue and
Yeah.
the Lucky 7 whale. When you get a chance to use that, I mean, that's something I want. I want to drill a hole right now.
I'm with you. I was so disappointed I was not able to slip up there and buy those 7s. Everybody, I got to, I'm trying to do a demo for people on, using the app. We're selling the app, and I'm just stealing their Lucky 7 going, I really want to fix something with this whale tail.
Yeah. Yep. Well, the test is going to be like how much torque can you put on it?
Yeah,
Exactly. That's my
So
thought.
you guys out there that don't know what we're talking about, so the Lucky 7 is basically
A1.
A1.
Yeah.
And they have their silver, what do they call those handles? Silver,
The silverback? No, not
Silver.
silverback.
No.
The Quicksilver.
Quicksilver. Thank you.
Yeah.
Handles, great handles. My favorite handles, super comfortable. And then it looks like a Lucky 7 when you go to Vegas and you hit the Lucky 7. It's a very distinctive shape.
Yeah.
And
They took the whale tail and
Yeah.
cut the backbone out of one side of it.
so it's basically a whale tail that you can stick through a hole.
Mhm.
And they claim it'll fit through a 1/2-inch hole and give you Not one of the ultra wides, just a regular whale tail head.
Yeah.
They really, bending them around, they really took some force to bend around. They looked pretty cool. So
Go ahead, Mike.
No, nothing. I'm just.
I thought you were reaching in to
did
talk.
anybody put any of the new edgy tips or tap down to work?
Yeah, I put the new one, the no roll tapped onto the test.
Never roll.
Never roll. That thing is awesome. Yeah, it's very comfortable in the hands. And what I'm finding is you could just lay your hand right on the panel. I was working on a roof, so I just laid my hand on the panel and just held it over and effortlessly was tapping.
The thing looks so gimmicky if you don't pick it up. You know what I mean? You look at it and then you pick it up and you're like, man, this thing's got some heft to it.
Yeah,
yeah. That's the first thing you noticed.
It's got multiple functions for it too. So I'm looking forward to you.
Yeah, it's basically like 4 different tap downs in one. Really, you have the soft caps that you can put on each end and take them off and they're polished for the metal knockdowns.
Now, did anybody swing by and check out the new Stucky hole straightener?
I don't think it was released. Was it, Mike?
It wasn't, but you were demoing it, and it'll be done in March. So
I just looked at it, but
wow, I demoed it.
It was really, really well made.
Yeah. It looked like it.
It kind of looks like a box opener from the handle wise. I mean, that's just what I remember looking at it, and then, it's kind of like a, like a door jammer end of it. It gets in the hole and it just it straightens that edge of the hole out really nice and clean.
So for those that haven't seen it, it's an inline hole straightener where a lot of the others look like rivet gun, or if you take Kekko's, theirs goes on their mini lifter. You replace the tab puller with the hole straightener end of it. So this one is inline. Yeah, so I'm really curious to get some feedback. And then it's got a locking tab on it, kind of like a pair of vice grips.
Yeah.
So that when you throw it in your tool bag, you can actually lock it closed and it takes up less space.
I ordered it already, though. I ordered it. So
okay.
I went in there and I said, you know what, put me down for one of those. And it should be sometime in March or something.
Cool. Yeah. Okay, well, we're going to have weeks of talking about all the tools we got. And I want to recap before we lose Myke here in a few minutes. The whole new venue and the whole new hotel and everything. So I want to get all 4 of us on here that we could talk about it, and while it's fresh, because there's a lot of stuff going back and forth. Some good, some bad, mainly bad. But we've been to these now for years. Though. That is the internet, and Myke and I.
Yeah, it's actually kind of disappointing, don't you think? When I see guys focus on all the negative, it's like it makes it sound like it's a terrible show.
Let me put it in perspective. Yeah, let me put it in perspective for you guys.
Go for it.
So you guys are us. We're veterans, right? We've been to multiple ones, right?
Multiple venues.
Yeah.
Vince and I at least 13, 14 years at least. Okay, and Daniel like 10 years at least. I don't know how many, but and John obviously more than a few.
I'm up to 3.
3? Okay, there you go. Here's the deal. As it goes on, we have our classic ones we remember. We and our expectations for each one. We feel like it should get better. You know what I mean? It should get better. It should be amazing. And technically, it is amazing. But I talked to Jason Huddleston, who's never been before. He had the most amazing time in his life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You compare it to guys who've been there who for the first time. It's out of this world. Lee Shuri, different guys who've never been before. It was the best experience ever for them. So, in general, 90% of those guys who've never attended, it's just the best thing they've ever did.
Yeah.
And they say they'll be back.
The thing is that this venue was very impressive. You're like, you walk in and you're like, well,
that building
we're legit.
Amazing.
We're totally legit. When you look at the size of the building, the venue was fantastic. Lots of room.
I loved having it all in one room.
Yeah, it was all in one room. That was a big deal.
Up, man. That's one of my favorite things of this whole thing was it was all in one big room.
Yeah.
Because as somebody who doesn't get to leave his booth much, I got a chance to run and see the whole show.
Yeah.
Before I it was like I got to run my room, but it was like, man, just a room, man. I got to see everybody. I got to see everything. There was, we talk PDR tool time, but there's tons of stuff there. There's detailers, there's rim repair, there's glass. I mean, and it kind of is divvied up a little bit when it's split into multiple rooms. So having it all in one room, man, I liked it.
I didn't mind it either, but we're going to talk about. We talking about the goods, and then we'll get to the bads, and then we'll get to the ugly, because that's just really, I think we should stay on topic of each one, going back and forth. But
let's do it.
So we're talking about the good, right?
The other big plus was the food. They had multiple food vendors, I guess.
Yeah. I didn't hear any complaints about how the food.
No, the food was fantastic. They had a lot more food than last year. The food for lunch has been a problem at the other venue, and they had multiple concession stands.
Yeah, there's a lot of almost restaurant type food, wasn't it?
Yeah, they had Chick-fil-A. They had
there was no Chick-fil-A.
I didn't see no Chick-fil-A.
No,
well, you fed me Chick-fil-A.
Someone went and got Chick-fil-A. I stole it from them.
Okay.
Chick-fil-A, where was that?
This was feeding me Chick-fil-A. I don't know where it came from, but
I saw burgers and tacos.
Burgers, tacos,
and pizza.
hot dogs, pizza.
There was a rice bowl that was supposed to be out of this world. Someone said
they had lots to choose from, so that was great. And they had a big place to sit down to eat.
Chick-fil-A.
Really
Chick-fil-A was there.
But there was food upstairs and down, for those that didn't make it, the classrooms were all downstairs and the main hall was upstairs now. And to picture the size of the building, 30-foot ceilings in every room?
Yeah.
I mean,
really huge.
Oh, yeah, they were huge.
Well, just for the record, the Orange County Convention Center is the biggest convention center in the U.S. It was massive.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I was like, man, this is way bigger than San
And they
Diego.
built a bigger one across the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, our Uber driver said the building alone that we were in encompassed half a mile.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, we walked it.
Yeah.
So some of the other positive things, I thought with the hotel itself, I thought the hotel was great. However, we were sharing space with families that were there on vacation.
Yes.
So, and one thing to keep in mind, and we found this out, Myke and Daniel, Gent guys get into shenanigans. We do stupid stuff. A few years ago, I got in trouble for gluing glasses and coins down onto the granite countertop at the bar. Right?
You did not.
And then the next year, we weren't at the Caribe Royale, and everyone was blaming me. Remember that?
Yeah, it was definitely your fault.
It wasn't. It had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, it did.
These convention places, they are used to us doing stupid stuff, and they will accommodate the stupid stuff.
They really need to negotiate. Hey, we need to be all in one wing.
Yeah, but with that in mind, it's also like the Drunk Olympics this year, which was a complete debacle in my mind. They would have accommodated that. The security said, "Why didn't you guys tell us a couple days ago, and we would have stuck you in behind Building 60." They had a huge parking lot that was up against the water.
They said that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, absolutely. So
yeah, I only got feedback on that.
These people are in the accommodation business. They will accommodate whatever we want, but we don't have to be sneaky and deceitful about it. We just have to tell them what we need.
This facility was huge.
Yeah.
Oh,
you had to take a shuttle to get to the front of the.
Yeah. Now, I heard some people complaining about their rooms, but the room my wife and I were in was fine.
Our room was great.
We were fine, right, Myke? The only thing was
perfect.
The only thing that didn't work was the phone, and we never.
Our key.
The keys. Yeah. What was that, Myke?
We had problems with our keys.
What'd you say, Myke?
Yeah.
I wish they would have had more dishes, like stuff for us to cook with.
Oh yeah. The frying or a couple more frying pans would have worked well.
And then my wife and I were lucky. We were in one of the close rooms, and when we come out of our room down the stairs, the mini mart was across the parking lot. So it was great for me because this was a year that I could not consume any alcohol or anything. So, and I have to be a little more careful of my diet for the new medication I'm on. So it was awesome for us. I got to walk right down out and pick up the groceries I needed.
Yeah.
Walmart was what Mike and we stopped at Walmart. That was only like
Yeah,
2
that was
blocks away.
half a mile down the road. Yeah.
we grabbed a whole bunch of stuff.
John, for our listeners, just so they know what kind of medication, John had a penis reduction, and he has to take special medication.
We got that thing down to like 10 or
A
12
reasonable size, so his wife's happy.
magnifying glass.
He was tripping on it when it was. I'm just not going to go there. Never mind.
Yeah, John came out and visited me at the Golden Gate, and I took him across the Golden Gate, and he said he had to take a piss, and he said, "Wow, well, this water is cold." Man,
Yeah, but Daniel responded deep too.
Okay, enough of that.
All right.
Yeah, so that for me was I was super happy with that. My wife and I were both really thrilled about the fact that we could just walk downstairs, go into a store, and pick up what we needed.
By the way, your wife's a champ, man. We had the the tool review, and was she the only woman there?
No. Dave Street's wife was there.
Yeah, Stacy Street showed
We had
up.
two women there, and they hung out.
Well,
Now,
there was one missing from Chicago that was invited, and she didn't come.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah,
Mike probably regretted my wife showing up because he's got to buy his daughter an entire wig collection now.
Yes.
Yeah. I bet you did. I didn't see. Did Gabby see her wearing wigs? Or did
yeah.
Gabby
The
fell
blue
in
one
love with
especially.
every single wig. She would hunt Robin down
No way. I didn't know that.
after hours to come find the wigs.
John's wife's got a wig collection. So.
Yeah, my wife wears a random wig, and Gabby came and found her. The blue wig, that was it. Mary had taken Gabby into the bathroom, and Gabby come blazing out and about knocked everybody over so she could run over to Robin and check out the blue wig that my wife was wearing.
I think she was the most popular person there at MTE, man, because everybody was just saying, Gabby, and she was true. Could hang at the bar longer than I could.
Yeah, she was. She was rocking it out, that little Gabby. She was hilarious. I love that little girl.
Yeah.
Just for the record, do you buy the matching Merkins for her?
What the hell's that? Obviously,
John, do you buy the Merkins, or does the wife buy the Merkins that match
No.
the?
No.
All right, for all you listeners, look up what a Merkin is.
That's you're going to have to turn off safe search, people.
Yeah, let's not go there. Okay, so
All
let's
right.
talk about.
But then the bar, the bar, inside, outside, space wise, that
was good.
Actually, I think the bar was the best part. So the bar at our host hotel was huge. It had a huge outside space, inside space, and they had a mini bowling alley. And I felt that I could really talk to people better at that. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I agree with everything you said, Daniel. The only thing I had issues with customer service a couple times.
Yep.
So, but
we had the same problem at Carib. It was no better.
No, I mean a little bit, but no, it was better, dude. Trust me. And
I didn't
honestly,
think so.
and I think personally, I tried to warn them. Me and Vince actually warned them. Said, hey,
we did.
What time is the bar closed? And blah blah blah. Closes at 11 o'clock. Sometimes we stay open until 12.
Wednesday they closed early.
Hold on, Daniel.
11.
Stop cutting him off.
And I go, well, listen here. What? Am I cutting off?
No.
Right.
I was going to backhand Daniel. Finish your story.
He was using the pimp hand on Daniel.
And here's the deal. I told them, and Vince told them, saying, look, there's going to be in about a couple of days, this place is going to be turned inside out. Well, we're going to, we don't know if we're going to stay open. I was like, it's in your best interest if you stay open. It's like, but the employees didn't care. They don't know crap. You know what I mean? But they end up staying open, which was fine. But I agree with you.
I felt they got better.
Yeah, they did.
Over
That's
the
what
nights.
everybody said. But
Okay.
I will say it was funny. I did watch it. Getting to not be the guy that drinks, you get to see some interesting shenanigans.
Oh yeah.
But the most interesting shenanigan would have been watching my wife and a friend of ours, Ken Waits from Augusta, Georgia, get the bill for their 2 drinks before they got their 2 drinks.
Oh jeez.
No way.
Yeah, it was. They both ordered one drink. It was a beer and a wine, and then the waitress shows back up with the bill and gives her that. They're both sitting there like, "Shouldn't we have a drink?" She's like, "Yeah, it's on the way."
No, jeez.
I was carrying a bottle of water.
Okay. Well, I guess we're getting into the negatives because that's where one of the major negatives was the bar. Besides the accommodations was big enough. Inside, outside, you could talk.
Yes.
Everything, you could hear people. You didn't have to scream. Better than the Carib in that aspect. We were all in one kind of place.
Yeah, because Carib had two smaller bars, so it kind of split things up a little bit.
Yeah, but this was one big bar. But the customer service was definitely lacking. Like Myke said, we warned them. We were there on Monday night. We said, hey, you better not close at 11 o'clock, and you're going to be losing thousands of dollars. The drinks came out wrong at times, and they were quick to remedy everything, but they were understaffed. They were definitely understaffed.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it wasn't too much of a. Honestly, I mean, it could have been worse. Let's just put it that way. But it was pretty good for what it was.
Wednesday night, because that was the first night we were there, that was the worst I heard. Because some people were saying it was a half hour to get a drink. Now I didn't hear that on Thursday, Friday, and we didn't do much in the bar on Saturday. So I don't know what it was like Saturday night.
Well, in the past, people were saying, "Oh, I waiting so long for a drink that I went and bought some and brought it to the bar." Well, you know what? They were doing it at the Carib Royale last year and the year before. Everyone kind of brought their stuff to the common ground. So nothing like that changed. But I witnessed heavy tips going down. Like we're talking $100 tips, $50 tips. With some big hitters in our industry, trying to get them to stay open later, and they're like, "We can't. It's not us. It's not us. It's the management. The management, has a deadline on it." And they did run out of beer, I think, Thursday night, right?
Did they?
They started to, I think.
Okay.
I don't know if it actually happened.
I don't think it happened either.
Here's one of the things that I got to talk to Sheldon, who's the manager for MTE, and he brought up something that I thought was interesting. Is we're not at the Carib because they didn't sign a long-term contract with them. So that's why we're not there, number one. Okay. And number two is that they attract a lot of medical type of seminars, and they tend to do a lot of catering. And that catering brings in the kind of money that they want. So they tend to give those
priority
seminars or those customers priority. So that's why one of the reasons we're not there.
So as shocking as that sounds, dent guys do not spend enough money when you're at the Carib. Even though our bills at the bar are outrageous, but there's other things that they're making money off of.
That's exactly my point. Is like, I think our bar bill should compensate that.
Yeah,
I think we should make.
I want to go to a medical convention now. And I want to see if these guys are plunking down.
Well, we've been there while the medical things are going on.
Yeah,
and it looks boring as hell. It looks like a sleep fest. And
probably doesn't require a lot of cleanup after.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
But this venue too, we should be fair. The Carib is a really big, and Carib had what, 2 buildings? North and south?
3 towers, I believe.
3 towers. So this place was very huge. And it is a timeshare.
Clearly.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a huge facility. You literally, if you were at the far end, had to take the shuttle. They have their own shuttles that ran around the facility.
Yeah, we would take the shuttle.
Yep.
Yeah, because you guys were far enough back. Yeah, the shuttle. So.
Yeah, I didn't see the shuttle. Honestly, I saw a shuttle. I heard of a shuttle, but I didn't see a shuttle. So
no. Well, all you had to do was call, and they would come and get you. But
I didn't need it. I didn't need it half the time. We had our own car.
Yeah.
I was in the close building. So the only time I ever used the shuttle was going back to do the drunk tool review at your guys' room.
Right.
Let me ask you guys this. So what would you change? One thing, I don't want to list. What would you improve? I'm not saying that. What would you, if you were the president of MTE and you had a list, what's the first thing you would improve about this last event? What did you learn?
Who's first?
I got it.
Go, Daniel.
Go ahead, Daniel.
I want a demo car.
What?
So,
You know what?
a demo car.
What does
So
So
that-
people
I wanna-
can try out the tools.
Yep, a car there that guys can just get around and show off techniques, show off tools, try out tools, talk to other guys about what they're doing. Just have a car there that guys can just work on and watch other guys and commune and really get geeky. It's almost kind of like what the Drunk Dent Olympics kind of started as, but without the drunkenness, and just really be able to get geeky about what they're doing and they're showing off their techniques, because every guy out there has something to share. Every guy.
That's
You
true.
know, none of us
Yeah,
are above anybody else.
That's an interesting idea, Daniel. I think that's a great idea. I'm trying to think about how. I don't know. I mean, I personally think if I was looking at a tool manufacturer standpoint, if I was like A1, Anson, or anybody, I would get a demo car. I would get a rental car, and
Most of them
let
had
them
some
do
sort
that.
of panel to push.
It
but-
doesn't work. That's not as good.
Yeah, if everybody had, like a totaled out hail car out of Denver and just gut the interior and set
Good
the
idea.
shell.
Well, we're going to have that. They're going to have that out at Anson when Anson opens their new building. That's
Yeah.
one of the things they're going to do. They're going to bring a hail car in,
That'd be
and
cool.
they'll have at least a hail car for you guys to be able to play with.
That'd
All
be
right,
awesome.
who's next? Me?
Go ahead, Vince.
Well, okay. I have from if I had to tell MTE two things, I'm going to come from two. I got to give you two, because I'm going to come from a manufacturer standpoint. Working for Anson now, they need new, fresh blood at these conventions. You know, the vendors that are there, they're there to sell tools, which I'm not sure is good or bad, to be honest with you. I'm still on the fence right now. You shouldn't try and make all your nut for the year at one convention. You know, it's not going to work. But there's not enough new people showing up. And the same technicians are coming year after year. It's like, oh, I already have that Dentcraft tool, and I already have that. So the guys that are coming, that have been coming for years, they're just looking for new and fresh tools. And, if you don't have it, they're not going to be buying from you.
Right. Well, the thing is all those tool makers are quality tool makers. You don't wear them out.
Right.
So
Exactly.
yeah, I'm not going to go buy me another set of normal Dentcraft whale
Whale
tails
tails.
because my 14-year-old ones are still kicking ass and taking names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Now-
yeah.
From a attendee standpoint, I would make sure that everything is in the same location, whether the convention and the accommodations. Reason being is they're going and buying tools, and then they're bringing it right back to the room, and then they're going and enjoying the show. They had to deal with a shuttle.
Or a coat check.
Yeah, or a place to check in
tool
the stuff.
check.
A
A
tool
tool
check.
check.
There you go. But there was
agree.
guys that did not want to drive back and forth, because every time you left the lot at the convention center, it was going to charge you $17. The shuttles were inadequate in the sense that there's a lot of traffic around that area, so it took you forever to get back and forth. I feel bad for the people that were doing the seminars, because the seminars would start at 8 o'clock, but the shuttle service wasn't starting till 9 o'clock. So there was some just miscommunications going on, and all that can be solved by having it all at one location.
All right, I agree. I agree. I agree with you, Vince, on that. I would say the biggest inconvenience of it was traveling, was getting in and out.
That's-
Because if you had tools in your hand like I did, I had a shitload of tools I was carrying.
Yeah,
Once you leave that place, you're not coming back, dude.
No.
Unless you're gonna, you have a bunch of go lunch and come back a few hours later.
But this is what I did here. I heard this from Todd Zimmerman, is it also kept people there from leaving. So people didn't leave. So it kind of, it goes both ways.
It's a little bit of both ways, but that was Vince. That was going to be my exact statement as well. Everything right close together, because this building was so big that the parking garage felt like a mile walk, but it was like only half a mile walk, really.
Yeah.
But just to get over where you were parking, and it was for vendors, it was a one-time daily parking fee. You paid it once. If you came and went during that day, you were okay. But if you were an attendee, you paid your parking, left, came back, you had to repay that parking again. So it was $17 every time you left and came back.
Yeah, that was no good.
So,
I didn't
and
like
the
that.
ability for guys to go dump tools off in their car or in their room is ideal. And big ticket, big items, tool carts. Guys were not wanting to buy them.
No
and
one.
lugged a half a
No
pound.
one bought any big
No one.
stuff.
No. So
And-
my only true complaint would be put down, that get that parking where, a facility where the parking is closer and a hotel within walking distance.
So
As a vendor, I wanted carpet in my booth, but I think
Carpet,
we're gonna
there's-
raid. We're raiding something for it next year.
Yeah, that was one thing. No carpet. We want carpet. So one of the things I talked to Sheldon about was, there's a hotel, 2 hotels right across the street from the convention center. We're like, why didn't you get those? Wasn't enough room. So there wasn't enough rooms to accommodate us, and there wasn't suites as well. So those are the 2 reasons why we didn't get those, if you're wondering.
And I think suites are important because a lot of us, if you're there for quite a few days, you go to Walmart or you go to Costco and you load up on food, and then you bring back and you cook everything at your hotel and save
we
a little
like
bit of
having
money.
that kitchenette. There's no doubt about
you got to have the kitchen.
My idea for the tool companies.
What?
You and you guys were talking about there's no new people coming to the show or things like that. Here's my take, and listen, I understand that being a PDR tool company is hard work, especially for the individuals and young guys and younger young tool manufacturers, individuals. But here's the deal: you must come up with an exclusive Mobile Tech Expo tool. You have to. You can't sell it on Christmas time. You can't do that. You got to hold one back, hold a series, a tool back for it, or you have to give a substantial discount on something, or you can't have everyone's tools in your booth because that dilutes the sale of that tool to everything. So. Really, the first thing is to come correct on a new tool and save it for the mobile tech. You should be planning right now the new tool that's going to come out next year.
I will say that was huge for us. Holding our release to the show was
there you go
monsters for us.
Yeah, you
and
did
the discounts. Dent Killer, Mike, you're wearing the Dent Killer hat. Talk about a discount, $1,700 on that Power PDR box.
Yeah, Anson couldn't even sell them at the booth. They're like, we can't match what he's
Nobody
selling
could
them for.
touch that. That was insane. I was I paid a lot more.
Yeah, the challenge with that, Mike, though, is if you talk to vendors, is they're usually at the mercy of other parts of the manufacturing process, and so hard to, James Lee is the perfect example of that.
Well, I'm just
how he has a hard time getting he tries, and they all try. I actually think they do try to do that.
No, I'm not saying they don't. But they really need to ensure that they try.
But it does drive attendance.
Here's the deal. I've heard from multiple vendors they didn't do that good. They broke even. But there's, on the other hand, you look at it, there's no new tools either.
Yeah.
So that brings up a question: did the announcement of Vegas hurt that?
I heard the attendance was virtually the same as last year, but the entire overall event was bigger. Now I know it was more expensive. Our expenses went up for this show, and I'm pretty sure everybody's expenses went up pretty drastically for the show.
Yeah,
it definitely seemed like there was a lot more detailers there.
No, because here's the deal: if you paid attention, there was just as many vendors last year, but they consolidated with each other. A lot of them did.
Is that what it was?
Wasn't as many individuals.
You might be right. The perception of it, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Overall, I was still happy.
Yeah.
The only issue that we had was it was always great to have the Creeb or the hotel next door and just walking around. Never needing an Uber, never needing a shuttle. That's one of the things that we really liked. So
Yeah. Well,
So
Go ahead.
here's one of the big questions that everybody's been asking us. What does it mean with the Vegas show? And that was another question me and Vince asked Sheldon
and Kevin. I cornered Kevin.
And you want to tell them what they said?
Well, I talked to Kevin. I wasn't there for the Sheldon part, but
You allowed to tell them what they said?
yeah. Kevin's going to come on the show and talk to us about it because I heard a conflicting thing from another tool manufacturer, but I heard it straight from Kevin, so I'm just going to repeat what I heard. And the Orlando show is not going away. That is the anchor for Mobile Tech Expo. And secondary is the Vegas Expo. So Mobile Tech Expo in Vegas.
Vegas is a test, basically.
Yeah. So
okay.
That was said directly to my face while I was looking him in the eyes. That is exactly what the plan was.
I heard that too.
So he had said, a lot of chatter was about, they're going to eliminate Orlando. That's not the case. As for now, that is not the case.
Or move the show a bunch of places. Right?
Yeah, I can't see it. This thing's huge.
It's not bouncing around.
Yeah.
Well, they also said that Dent Olympics will always be at Orlando.
Yes.
Regardless. So they're not going to have. It'll be called something. They'll still have a competition, but it won't be the World Dent Olympic.
I still wonder if we're going to see all the other mobile recon services be much larger in Vegas.
There will be. Because
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
They have to be, because when you're dealing with the West Coast, it's the Mecca. The West Coast is the Mecca for detailers and everything. Everything comes from the West. So there's going to be a lot of detailers. There's going to be a ton. If it's properly marketed, if MTE markets it great, they're going to have a ton of dent technicians from the West Coast or the western end of the Americas. Because they don't want to go to Orlando.
Well, and I think that was a reason why, attendance wasn't record-breaking attendance this year, is a lot of the West Coast was like, why would I go through the added expense to go to Orlando when I can wait till September and go to Vegas for a tenth the cost,
Yeah.
Flying into Vegas is dirt cheap. I mean, even us here in South Dakota, it's $100.
Yeah.
Well, just to give you listeners an idea of what South Point is in Vegas, you're gonna love the venue. I'm going to tell you.
Yeah. Right.
You're gonna love it.
And why do you know, Mike? Because you have
I have a timeshare right next door. I mean, walking distance next to it. So, and we are getting a suite right there.
And
so a double suite.
Sweet.
The party's at Mike's place next year.
But the cool thing
September.
about South Point is that it has multiple bars in there, right? It's nice restaurants, steak and shake inside of it too. And there's different places, a movie theater. It's got everything you want inside that place.
Do you think, Mike, it's going to be a little bit more like the Caribe Royale feel?
It will. Yes, I definitely agree. I think we're going to have a ton of fun there. It's going to be wild. I think it's going to be wild, and you could have your shenanigans, to a certain point, But I think you're going to. I think
we can
people are
let
gonna
down
enjoy
our
it.
hair.
What's that?
Huh?
We can let down our hair.
Yeah,
I shaved all mine off before I went.
yeah.
Dang it.
You guys go.
We believe it's going to be so much into the detail and interior people, and everything, that we're making sure that those services are in and up and running before that Vegas show.
Yeah.
From Mobile Tech. So,
Well,
all right, let's hear some funny stories, some funny stuff. I mean, I got one funny that I thought, and it falls into the ugly. So we did the good, the bad, and ugly and funny kind of go. hand in hand.
Ugly. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. So, I mean, my best moment was seeing our name stabbed out of one of our competitors' name badges. Mobile Tech RX.
I don't understand, John. You have a competitor?
Apparently not much, but we bought one of the ad spaces on the name badging, and it was right on the front. And in the previous years, our competitor had taped our name off. They've done several things. This year, anger and frustration, they stabbed it out. I was like, I wished I could have gotten a hold of one of them, and so I could just put it on my wall. I would frame it. I would.
Yeah.
That tells me nothing says you've arrived quite like a parody or somebody just angrily stabbing your name.
John, tell people if they're using Mobile Tech RX, it's probably pretty obvious that they've got an update.
Yeah, all the Apple users have. Android guys, you're probably a week and a half out of getting the new update. But yeah, everybody, if you're on Apple, you can go into the App Store and download the new update, and it really is sweet.
Myke, do you have an ugly story from MTE?
Yeah, but I'd rather not say.
Okay, I'll say it for you. I got two. First of all, I apologize for everyone. I was drunk Saturday night, pure exhaustion and alcohol. I was drunk. That doesn't happen.
You said this one part. You're like, yeah, this tool. Wow, I'm really drunk.
It was good.
I haven't even gone back and watched it. I've watched part of it because people were texting me about the
cat ears and
I got my hooker photos. I make a hell of a hooker.
Yeah.
I have to say.
But I'm going to say
girl.
the Drunk Olympics was a debacle ugliness. For years that was just a playful, fun thing that was supposed to just.
It was
go off.
organic.
Yeah, just
And
happened.
this time the
not
cops,
ugly.
This time the cops showed up.
Cop showed up.
From what I heard,
Yeah.
Are we talking about Dental Olympics?
No, the Drunk Olympics.
Drunk Olympics.
The
Yeah.
Drunk Olympics. It wasn't as bad as everybody thinks it was. I mean,
No.
John's John, and but let me tell you, there was a huge crowd, but it wasn't all dead people. It was half of the freaking public.
That's what I heard.
Timeshare holders or whatever, family vacationers looking to see what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
Other people were saying that family people or any of the other guests were coming out and videoing it from their balconies.
They were.
The one good thing was John did a killer job on the trophy. I was like, whoa.
That growler?
Yeah, he did a big old growler with the silver handle and etched in the.
Yeah, he had some cool trophies.
And it was a really cool trophy. Unfortunately, only one guy competed, and he got the award.
Mr.
And
Brown.
you know what? He was damn good. His name's Steve from
Steve Brown, from up here.
Dent Mechanics. Yeah.
Oh, he's killer. He's
So
great.
this is what Steve's going to do. He's going to pass it on like the Stanley Cup. So he's going to have his name
nice.
engraved on it, and then whoever wins it next year gets it, and then they engrave it and pass it
We're
on.
getting
Let's
serious.
not try to organize it this time.
Yeah, let's not put any organization to it, except for maybe let
And
the
then
facility
let's tell
know.
management about it too.
Yeah, let the facility know that.
Yeah, get a place.
I gotta go. Guys. But I want to.
right, Mike.
I'm going to plug my own podcast real quick.
Go,
So,
please.
every Thursday, check out denttimepdr.com. That's where you sign the official website, or go to iTunes, check out Dent Time. I will be doing a recap of the same thing we're doing, but I have my spin on it with some more details about it as well. And I invite you guys all to listen. And listen, I appreciate everything out there, you PDR Tool Time crew. You guys have been doing a great job. So thank you very much.
All right, Mikey.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks
Thanks
for
for
coming on.
joining us, Mike.
All right, guys. Take care. Have a good night.
Peace out.
And hey, what's your call? What do you got to say?
Don't do anything I wouldn't do twice.
There you go. All right, get out of here.
Later.
All right, now that we got rid of that guy, now we could have our regular podcast.
All right, Daniel, what did you get that was ugly?
Yeah, one more ugly story, then we got to go.
Ugly story.
Don't say me drunk.
Maybe you naked.
Yeah, that too.
You know what?
See me? I didn't
you
get
know
naked.
what? No, I'm kidding. You know what? The ugly was the hearing people complain, and hearing people complain. It's funny the way I see the world. I see the world through a filter of positive, and that's just who I am. I tend to focus on the positive of everything, and try not to focus on that negative, because whatever you focus on is what you get in life. So if you focus on the negative stuff, you're going to just get that back in fold.
Yeah.
And so I don't believe that way. I don't look at it that way. I look at what are the positive. And if there's something that's really bothering me, it's like, okay, how do I change it? Yeah. And for me, it was talking to Sheldon and telling him my opinions, saying, hey, let's have a demo car there. And he really liked that idea for Vegas, so, one of the things you're going to see is you're going to see a survey on MTE come out. And Sheldon said, we listen to it. We want that feedback. We value that feedback.
We sent our feedback to him.
Yeah.
Eric put it together.
So, so it's up to you guys. If you guys didn't like something, voice it and change it.
Yeah.
Well,
I think that was I think that was very good, Daniel. I mean, that was a very good point. Listen, to roll in on Facebook on Sunday, at the airports, checking on things and listen to people overly bag on it was a little disheartening, because while I didn't get to see much of it, man, I got to say hi to people that I only get to see at that venue. Still, I got to hug good friends and catch up on some stories when we went around the bar. I got to sit with another one of my competitors finally for an hour and a half at the bar. This guy sells, and you know what? I'm going to plug him out of there. Dentmate, Michael Glidwell, and his head programmer, which I'm really, really sorry, brother, I forgot your name, but we sat, my wife and I, and we all sat with our competition at a table and had a great time talking about everything, from the problems with trying to program and problems trying to integrate, all the way to the fun and the joy of seeing your customers and excel.
I felt that was the best thing about MTE was I was able to connect with more people this time around. And I can't really quantify why, but I think it was the bar. It was just bigger, more room. You could sit down and talk to people. The Cree bar is really small, and you had to stand up and mingle. Just not as good as far as a conversation goes.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see as many just because it was pretty big. So, but I got to see all of them.
Yep.
I just didn't get to spend as much time with them.
No, I didn't even get to party with my John. Or my Mobile Tech
I didn't get to party with you two.
Or Mobile Tech RX crew. So
I didn't know you were there, John.
Until the junk tool review.
And it was something, and truly that tells you how big the bar was. When everybody complains about small bars, for my wife and I to make a pass through, by the time you get done giving the hugs and kisses and shaking hands and kissing babies, it was an hour and a half.
It took me an hour just to get to the bathroom.
Yeah, we can't make a loop in under an hour at that bar.
Yeah,
because everybody is there.
Yep. So it's good stuff.
So recap.
Do it all again. I would do it all again.
Right. Fantastic.
Wouldn't
Good.
change it. Yeah.
Right.
We would do it. We would do it again. It was a phenomenal show for us.
So guys, here's what we would like you guys to do. Look at your local competitors. If you're friends with them, bring them to MTE. If they're not going, convince them to go. Convince them to go to Vegas. Vegas might be an easier thing for a lot of people, because who doesn't like to go to Vegas? Right.
Sure.
So bring them to Vegas.
If you've always questioned about going, Vegas would be the cheapest way to get there.
Vegas is really cheap.
Yeah. So. Well, okay, guys, let's wrap this up. Daniel?
Level up your tools.
And don't do stupid stuff.
And I still did not come up with anything at MTE.
This has been another episode of PBR Tool Time.